So the one thing that's stopping you from scaling your online agency is booking enough meetings. If you can't book meetings on a predictable manner, you won't know exactly how many people you'll be able to close, and it will not be a predictable business. You'll just be throwing things in the air. So we're able to fix that exact problem with booking meetings with Facebook ads. And as you guys can see, we're able to close a client for over $3,000 for just one of our clients. I'm going to refresh the page here just to show you that, we know what we're talking about. This is real. Now we switched two fan bases from Stripe because Stripe gave us a lot of problems. Stripe is not the best payment processor, honestly. But if I go back to our Stripe, you can see that on our Stripe, we processed over $20,000 in just a couple of months working. As you can see here, over $21,000 of just starting out this business. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can fill your calendar, how to build out a successful ad campaign, and how to optimize it correctly so that you can fill your calendar and not have to worry about if people are ever going to show up or if you're ever going to book meetings ever again. So let's just hop straight into it. All right, so before we actually set up the Facebook ads and I'll show you what we're doing, I want to show you guys how simple the process is. Now, a lot of people like to overcomplicate this, right? They do different things like cold outreach, cold email, these things, and they do work, don't get me wrong, but the thing is they're not the highest leverage type of work. I highly recommend that if you just want to start out your agency, just run ads, right? Because ads are the best way to get people who are interested and serious about buying your offer. So first we create ads on Facebook or Instagram to run, then we get leads from the ads and we book meetings. That's literally it, right? Now, this is simple, but it's not easy because you have to make sure that your ad is good. And you also have to make sure that the leads that you come in are qualified. And there are different steps along the way. However, overall, the process is pretty simple. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys the type of ads that we're running right now for our agency. I'm literally going to show you the exact ad we're running, and I'm going to show you why it did well, break it down, and show you how to create the same exact thing. So we're running two different types of ads. We're running a picture ad and a video ad. As you can see here, I'm going to show you the picture ad first. And a lot of people think that picture ads don't work. Picture ads do very, very well if you do it the correct way. And the greatest part about this is we literally use ChatGPT for this. We just used ChatGPT. We found out an exact framework that worked well and just copied it and just made it better, literally. So you can see here, this ad so far, it's gotten us about 6 leads at a $14.91 cost, which is pretty good. We spent about $100 and we got about 4 booked meetings specifically from this system. So I'm going to show you what the ad actually looks like. So if I go to edit here, you're going to open up and see what the ad looks like. So you guys can see here that the ad is very, very simple. It's just a ChatGPT image of a guy or a contractor on a roof saying get 100 qualified leads in 90 days, right? It looks kind of basic, right? It's not that crazy. And here's what you guys gotta understand. What a lot of people don't understand is that when creating ads to book meetings for your agency, the ugly ads actually work better. That's what I've really realized. Now, it does kind of depend on your niche. For example, home service doesn't really care how things look. However, if you're working in a med spa niche, they might care a little more. But at the end of the day, what really matters at the end of the day is your offer. You can see here our offer was getting 100 qualified leads in 90 days, which was awesome. When people see that, they're like, oh dang, they understand they need leads. They understand they want to get leads fast. So this is exactly how they do that. So you can see here, we got a couple likes here, very simple. So I can literally go here and I'm going to show you exactly how to make something just like this in ChatGPT. Super simple. So now I'm in ChatGPT. Now, if you want to make something similar to the ad I just made, you're going to want to get the ChatGPT Plus because that one allows you to create multiple pictures. And the pictures you create will be higher quality. But let's just say I want to create a picture similar to the picture I just showed you. I could just type in, make me. Perfect. So that's the prompt I gave it. Now we're going to actually just wait and see what it gives us in return. All right. So you guys can see that this is kind of insane. This... It's crazy how ChatGPT is. We just created an amazing ad. This looks really, really good. And we can just copy and paste this and use this for Facebook. That's literally it, guys. It's super simple. Now, what I highly suggest is you make different ad creatives and test them out. And I'm going to show you how to set that up as well. But just for creating an ad, this is honestly insane, guys. This is insane. Now, what we have noticed, I'll be honest, is that quality of leads that we get from picture ads aren't as high as the quality of leads that we get from our video ads. So I'm going to show you our exact video ad that we ran. I'm going to break it down step by step to show you why it worked, how to create the same thing. And I'm going to literally show you how to create a Facebook ad campaign exactly like like ours. So you guys can just take it, run it, and start closing deals. It's insane, right? So taking a look at our video ad, you can see that our video ad is doing a little bit better. It got about 17 leads so far, and it booked us about 10 meetings so far. We're able to get about $12 per lead, which is a little cheaper than the picture ad, which is kind of funny. And you can see we spent about $200. So that's about, let's say, $20 an actual booked meeting, which is pretty insane. Now, I want to show you the actual ad. This ad is very, very good. I'm very proud of it. My boy Pedro, of course, you guys know Pedro, my business partner on this channel. He did very well with this ad. He's great with content. So I want to show you what we actually built with this specific ad. So let's just take a look at it.
You're not short on skill, you're short on leads. You could be the best floorer in town, but if no one knows who you are, your phone stays silent. No calls, no cash. But what if I told you my team and I will get you 100 local qualified leads in 100 days or you don't pay? Look at our client Ben. We managed to get him a 5-figure flooring job in just 2 weeks of working with us. We fly out to you, we shoot the ads, we run the systems. You just gotta close the jobs. We bring you real people who need your service now. So if you're serious about growing your business, click the link below and let's get your calendar booked.
So you can see it's super, super simple and awesome. I love this ad. So you can see that this ad, it's very simple, but it's very eye-catching and entertaining as well. So I want to break down every piece of this ad to show you exactly why it works. Let's hop into Miro. I'm going to break it down for you. All right, so let's break down exactly how this ad works. Now, if you guys need one-on-one help to actually create these ads, how to set up the systems, and how to actually scale your own agency or start your agency and scale to about 10K per month, and click the link below in the description. Hop on a call with us and we'll show you our exact system and see if we're a good fit to work together, right? But let's just hop into the ad. So for example, now there's a very simple system that we use for all of our ads. The first thing that we do is, of course, for the ad, we have to have something called let me just write it right here, something called the hook, right? So the hook is what's going to capture people's attention. We want to grab people's attention as soon as they see the ad. So the first thing that we do is we have a call out and we talk about the biggest issue that a lot of these roofers have, right? So a lot of roofers say that, or they think that they're short on skill. The skill isn't the problem. They just don't have enough people know who they are. Right? Literally, that's it. So a lot of great roofers, a lot of great HVAC people, or just in the home service in general, don't understand that if they can't market their business, they will die. And they usually suck at marketing because that's not their job. They just want to go fix roofs and stuff, right? So the first thing is the hook. And the hook should be about, let's say, 30, at most 30 seconds long. I would say probably 15 to 30 seconds long for the hook, right? Now, the second part is we explain our offer. Now, we want to make sure we say the offer as quickly as possible. You can see that in our hook, right after we said the hook, we literally explained that we're going to get them 100 leads in 90 days. So the next part is the offer, right? And you want to make sure they see that as quickly as possible, right? Then after they see the offer, what we need is a testimonial or proof that we know what we're doing, right? So you can see here that in the ad we showed you, I actually showed a testimonial of our client Ben, as you can see here in the actual ad. So you want to have hook, offer, testimonial. You want to add more benefits / pain points. So you want to add more benefits, which are, the good reasons they'll work with you. And you want to talk more about the pain points that they have. So a lot of pain points that these roofers have is that, they may get leads that are unqualified. They may get leads that waste their time. We say, hey, look, don't worry. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. We go to you. We literally fly to you. We create the ads. We do everything. You just sit back and close the deals. That's literally all we have to do, right? So we make it super simple for them. Hook, offer, testimonial, benefits. And then we usually go back and we either explain the offer again. Sometimes a second offer explanation is good, or we just hit with a CTA or call to action. So at the end, we tell them to either, as you can see here, tell them to either book now. That's a really good CTA, or learn more, whatever the case may be, right? So very, very simple process. So this is the exact framework we use to make all of our ads. Now, what I'm gonna do now is literally make an ad for you right now and show you the targeting, the systems, how to set everything up, and everything like that, right? So let's just hop into our Facebook ad account. Let's make one right now. Awesome. So now that we're in our Facebook ad account, we're going to click create here to create the ad. Now, there's different ways we could actually structure how we're going to get results, but we want to make sure we choose leads because, of course, we're getting leads, people's information. That's the most important thing. Now, we're going to click continue here. Now, after we click continue, we want to start off with a campaign. Now, before we hop into the campaign, there are two different ways to actually pay Facebook. You could do a campaign budget, or you can do an ad set budget. And I'm going to explain the difference of the two, right? So you can see here, there's a campaign budget. So what this does is it spends a certain amount of money over the entire campaign. So for example, let's say you have 2 ads running in one campaign and you're spending about $10 a day. What the campaign budget will do is spend more money on the ad that's doing better, right? And that isn't really a good thing because it doesn't spend the money evenly. Now, what we want to do is have a specific budget for our ads and run that no matter what. Once we have enough data from both different ads, we can figure out which one to kill and which one to actually scale. So what I highly recommend, I always tell you guys to do, is never do a campaign budget, do an ad set budget, because that's going to allow you to spend money more evenly between all the different ads that you have. So we're going to click ad set budget here. Now for the campaigns, I like to name my campaigns what the actual objective is. So I like to say roofing leads. And then I always like to put the date. Let's just say 01, what was it, the 26th, something like that. Awesome. So we're going to do that. Now everything's good here. Let's click next. Now, when you go to next and you actually choose the targeting, here's where people always get this super overcomplicated. Now, with Facebook's new Andromeda update, you really don't have to do anything, bro. Like, it's so easy to run these ads if you just have the right offer. Back in the day when you were, if you ever ran ads back in the day, you had to do these weird interest targeting, this weird stuff like that. It's just so complicated. Here, just run the ad. Just run it completely naked. We run naked ads over here, right? So I'm going to show you how to actually target this. So first, we're going to name this. I like to name this full US because we live in the US. But I say whatever country you're in, just go for the whole country, right? If you're from the UK, do that. If you're from Australia, do that, right? So then we go down here. Now, our daily budget, I always say, if you have $20 a day, that's perfect. If you don't have enough, you can run 10. I say if you don't have $10 a day, don't run ads yet, right? Running $5 a day isn't enough. It's just not enough, right? I would say run at least $10 a day in ad budget. Now here, we're going to want to choose a location. We see United States, minimum age 18. Now, what I do suggest is to raise the minimum age just a bit because we don't want people who are, extremely broke and young. So I say raise it to about 25 is probably the number you want to get to, right? We do all languages. We pretty much touch nothing, right? Literally, that's it. We touch nothing because we let Facebook do the hard work for us. So that's very simple here. Now, we will, of course, want to make sure that we do instant forms. So what we want to do is we want to run a lead form campaign where people put in their information on Facebook to get our offer before they ever go to our landing page. So we run that there. Now that everything is good there, everything looks good. Now I'm going to click next here. And here's where we actually put in the ad. Now, to put in the ad is very simple. You can scroll down here and create ad. Now, you can create a single image video or a carousel, whatever the case may be. Now, before we actually create the ad, we're going to want to create an instant form or a lead form that people fill out to actually inquire for our services. Now, you can see we have different lead forms here. This is a lead form that we use, of course, for our roofing leads. So I'm just going to walk you through everything and show you how simple it can be to run these ads. So you can just copy and paste, like I always say, because just trying to give you as much value as possible. Right? So I'm going to duplicate this. And this is very important. So Facebook actually added a new update where people who actually go through a lead form, they have to verify their phone number with a text verification. Now, I say you must do this because there's so many times when people go through the system and they actually put in their information, but it's not accurate. So you're going to have situations where you're calling leads and the number's wrong. The number's wrong, or it's old or whatever, and they don't even put a number. So it's a huge pain in the butt. So what I'd say is always put SMS verification. So we can click enable options here. Now I'm going to show you the exact ad that we go through. So we ask a couple of questions in our ad. Now we want to make sure it's higher intent, right? We want to have as high quality leads as possible. I'd much rather give my clients 4 high quality leads than 30 trash leads, straight up. So we're going to go here, click higher intent, require them to actually verify their phone number. Now we're going to want to do optimized here, get more roofing leads, and name is there, right? So we go next here. Now, I never add a background image or a greeting because adding those two just adds more friction, and we don't want to add too much friction in the process. So never add a greeting, never add a background image. We go next. Then here's where we ask the questions. Now, we usually ask 2 questions. We don't want to ask more than 2 because more than 2 questions, it just gets kind of tough. So what we do is we ask, do you do roofing work year round? Because since we work with roofers, a lot of roofers don't work year round because of the snow or because of the weather. So we want to ask if they do that. And also want to ask how many jobs they get per month. right? Now, we want to make sure it's a good number of jobs because if they're just starting out, they probably can't afford our services. Also, never, ever, ever make the email or phone number optional because if you do that, you won't be able to capture their info and it's just a wasted lead, right? Huge issue, huge problem. So after that, we click next here. Now here we're gonna want to add our privacy policy. Here, if you just have a website, you can just add that in and add your privacy policy here. But this is really honestly optional, so you could actually click this off, so you don't have to do it. But I highly recommend do it just in case Facebook gets weird and they may, sometimes Facebook is weird, so you should probably do that, right? So we click next here. Then, of course, we have a review screen where they review everything that they have. Then they have an end screen, right? So at the end screen, we want to make sure that they are linked to the website where they can actually book a meeting with our team, right? So we link them to our funnel where we have our calendar where they could book with us. So just to give you guys some more info and just to give you guys as much value as possible, I'm going to show you what our funnel looks like as well. So this is exactly what our funnel looks like, right? Very, very simple. So it's just talks about floors, remodelers, roofers. We will generate you 100 qualified leads in the next 90 days guaranteed. And if we're even one appointment away, you don't pay, right? Very simple. You can see here they can choose a time with us on our calendar. Then after they choose a time with us, we have a pre-call or thank you page where it's a picture of or a video of our boy Pedro talking to them about getting ready for the call, some testimonials, and also just making sure they're ready and they understand that they need to show up to the call, right? So very simple. We have testimonials here, things like that, right? So very, very simple. So with all that in mind, that's the whole entire funnel system that we use to actually fill our calendar and scale past 10K per month, right? It's very, very simple and very, very easy if you know how to do it correctly. Now, if you guys are having trouble with this, like I said, you could always hop on a call with me and my team. We can talk with you, figure out what your issue is, see if we're a good fit, and see if we can help you guys out one-to-one, right? So I hope you guys got a lot of value from this video. I love making these videos like I always say, and I'll see you guys in the next one.